Hey Kevin, it's Craig again. Well, I was going to talk to you about power chords, but I think Chuck might be talking to you about power chords. But I'll do it anyway, because he might tell you something a little different. As you can hear, I've decided to go metal today. Oh, so anyway. But listen, about a power chord. Before we start talking about power chords, the first thing we need to talk about is the major scale to understand it. Now, Chuck gave you the major scale, and we could play it, for example, in G, like this. Right? Let me see if I can turn the computer so you can see my hands a little better. If we're playing a G major scale, so you've got, all right? For your major chord, what you have are the first, third, and fifth tone of the major scale. Let me see if I can adjust this laptop here, lean it back so you can see what I'm doing a little better. Okay, I hope you can see that. So if we're playing a major chord, it's based off of this major scale, so we take the first, third, and fifth tone, and in the case of G major, that's 1, 2, so 3, which is B, 4 and 5, which is D. So the notes in your G major chord are going to be G, B, D, over and over again. We could play it as an arpeggio, like, and then we'll have all G, B, and D. So G, B, D, G, B, D, G. Same thing when we play the chord. Those notes are those three notes, G, B, and D, are going to be repeated over and over again in the chord. And you'll play them in different parts of the neck depending on what your specific voicing is, right? Lots of ways to play G, but you'll always have G, B, D. Now for a power chord, you only have the first and fifth tone of the major scale. You leave out the third, so there's no B, it's, right? So in this case, G and D, G, D, and you can add an extra G right here if you want. So, like, let me see, G, D, G. I don't know if you can see that very well, but now once you learn that power chord, the 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, you play that in all kinds of metal, right? It's a very common chord, you know. In fact, if you listen to a band like Green Day, they've got a song I think that goes kind of like, as easy as it is, you know, they played that chord progression through the whole song, okay? I think the name of the song is Brain Stew or something like that, but it's just like A, it's like power chords, so let's see if you can see my fingers. A, then G, G flat, F, E. A, G, G flat, F, E, A, G, G flat, F, E, okay, so it's that simple. It's just that over and over again. Now, the other thing I'd like to talk to you about briefly, and maybe this should be another video, but I was going to talk to you a little bit about keeping time when you're playing. Now, when you look at the time signature in a piece of music, it looks like a fraction. You've got a numerator and a denominator, and the denominator tells you which note gets one beat. So most music that you have is in some sort of 4 time, generally 4/4. It's the most common. So that means the quarter note gets one beat. Now in 4/4 time, since 4 is your numerator, you've got 4 beats per measure of music, and each quarter note gets a single beat. So if you count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll have a whole note that gets 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A half note will get 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A quarter note gets 1 beat, right? So it's the quarter note gets the beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you've got an eighth note, it gets half a beat. And the way to count an eighth note is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So on each 1 and, you're playing the note. You can do that with your pick as an up and down stroke. So let's just play an open E here. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Now a 16th note is a little harder to count. You probably won't need 16th notes anytime soon, but for 16th notes, you count 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So it's kind of funny because it sounds kind of like this: 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And you're not going to need anything faster than 16th notes right now. So generally, most everything we play is in 4/4 time. Everything you've been hearing us play so far has been in 4/4 time, more or less. That's not always the case, though. Sometimes we get things in, for example, 3/4 time. Where you count, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, you're counting to 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3/4 time is the time signature that you use, for example, and I know you're not going to play this, but in a waltz, right? So if you think about on the Blue Danube, right? You've got ba ba da 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 ba 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 da 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 ba ba. Bop, bop. And it's actually a fairly fast beat. It's 1, 2. It's wait a second. 1, 2, 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's actually 3 beats. And to use something you're perhaps a little more familiar with, we could talk about manic depression. That's a 3/4 time signature song. So it's see, it's 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, because he's playing eighth notes. Then he plays some quarter notes. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. So anyway, hope that helps. Play around a little bit with your power chords. Play around with counting your time. You're going to be in 4/4 time almost all the time. Some people like to tap a foot when they do that, like tap on each quarter note, and that might help when you're starting out. You might find that useful. So all right, bud, stay cool. Take care of that dog, and keep practicing. All right, see you later.